So in the last episode, we saw that the priest feels he is now ready to approach the killer goddess, to offer her a deal, to make her a bargain so that she will let him keep the miracle. The priest picked the night of the full moon to meet with the goddess. The silver light of the moon shone across the ocean in an unbroken path, all the way from the horizon to the shore where the temple stood. This was the path that Kali would take when she came down from the heavens to get to the temple that she had sworn to guard, the one that she enters every day as the night tide. The priest had decided to wait for Kali out in front of the very last pillar, which by now is actually standing in the water ever since the temple has tilted. He ties himself to the pillar with strong ropes so that he will not get washed out into the sea with the tide. And he waits. Darkness has fallen. The priest is standing out there by the very last pillar. Nothing between him and that unending expanse of dark water. But actually, he had chosen to be over there. He wants to be the very first thing that the goddess sees when she descends from the heavens before merging with the tide. He hopes that she will see him and she will recognize in him her most devoted worshipper. She will recognize him as the man who has been praying to her unceasingly for the last so many months. He hopes that she will stop to grant him an audience. But he is also petrified at the thought of meeting the goddess. Ironically, in his fright, he is chanting the name of Shiva in his mind because that's his only source of strength, his only way to keep himself sane. The minutes tick by. Suddenly, the water ripples and he looks up to see the most horrifying vision. If he was petrified earlier, he is almost dead with fright now. Kali, hideously frightening, painted all in black, wearing a garland of freshly cut heads still oozing blood, is walking towards him. At the same moment that the priest sees Kali, Kali sees him, and a look of pure anger comes into her eyes. This was the man that she hated most in the world. This was the man responsible for all the trouble. He was the one who had sold her husband out in the open market for money. In one step, the goddess crosses the ocean to where the priest is standing tied to the pillar. And pushing her face right up against his, she spreads out her fingers and closes them tight around his neck, ready to choke the life out of him. Now, the priest had planned to soften her up with silver-tongued praise and hymns of adoration and glory, but fear had paralyzed him completely. He cannot think, he cannot speak, he cannot move. He's just standing there, swallowing, almost fainting. With her other hand, Kali reaches out and she grabs his hair, ready to tear his head off, when suddenly some instinct of survival brings the priest back to his senses. Stuttering over his words, trying to get them out as quickly as possible, the priest starts to pray to the goddess. And the goddess stops.